Hi Pisces, welcome to your weekly love reading. Let's see what's going on for you this week in terms of love.
Sexual freedom, resolving conflict, sexuality,
the gardener, and compatibility. Okay, so sexuality and sexual freedom, what's going on in your divine connection at this time? I feel you both feel a lot of this sexual union, you know, whether you are literally having sex in the 3D or not. There's this powerful energetic sexual union, just like in this card here, the energy, the love, the light that connects you both. There's powerful sexual like experience, that tantric union, that energetic union. You can feel this intensely, and there feels like a lot of intimacy, a lot of desire, a lot of energy in that. It feels amazing, it feels exciting for both of you. It's like that desire for oneness, desire for union, like on all levels, but it's like your souls are mating. And this happens when you're like thinking about that, but it's almost like your higher selves are making love as well. So then as your higher selves are doing that, it makes your 3D self like aware of that as well. And that's just like different chakras can really light up in those moments, and you feel like that's like a pleasurable sort of pressure. And you can in many cases, for many of you, you can really know what the other person's thinking about, what they're imagining, what they're fantasizing about, and vice versa. So a lot of energetic exchange that's going on. We have resolving conflict as well. So it could be the other way around, but it could be that divine masculine has been like in the man or woman cave, in the shadow side, feeling some gloom or going through some difficulties. And again, it can be both of you, but I feel this is like more recently, and I feel that conflict, it doesn't necessarily have to be conflict, it can be anything that's like shadow side, illusions, misunderstandings, someone going through difficulties in their own individual life, all that kind of thing. That's resolving. I feel like you're definitely coming back into more connection, more union, more harmony right now. So, for example, if there's been some sort of misunderstanding, you as divine feminine could have shed some light on that. But more overall, it's like whoever is going through difficulties, the other is sending so much love, so much light, because you're always deeply connected, okay? When you're going through difficulties and challenges, often you can be in the mind that takes your focus out of the heart chakra, so you're preoccupied with overthinking or fearful thoughts or negative thoughts, things like that. It can really cut you off from your intuition in the heart space. It can, and the other person can feel as though the other has withdrawn. Often you are like the infinity symbol, so if one person's going through something, the other can sense that, and they're like, the energy flow feels different, the energy seems denser. You can basically tell what kind of emotion, what kind of feelings your person's in, how they're feeling, and so it sort of circulates between you. But there's light and love, empathy, compassion, understanding coming into that now, being sent into that energy. So something may have come to light, and divine feminine, you're sending like that love, that clarity, that empathy to the other person, and it's resolving whatever sort of density may have come up a little bit in your connection. Okay, I feel like this is a time of just joy, so much joy, and all these flowers here. Okay, I feel like divine masculine, whatever they're doing in their day-to-day life, they're thinking of divine feminine, because the feminine is shown up everywhere in all this nature. Okay, again, it's the same for the other way around. Whatever you're doing, divine feminine, you're always with each other. You know, this isn't just thinking about the person. This is, your energies are as one. They're so like compatible. Again, it's like no matter what you're doing in your day-to-day lives individually, you're always connected. There's always this love. This is like the yin and yang. That's why there's this powerful flow of this sexual energy. The sexuality and sexual energies is that yin yang. That is the oneness of your union, of the love of your soul. And it's just like you click into place and the energy just flows so naturally. There's so much growth here, so much abundance. You both feel so much abundance, like life is just filled with all this excitement. Look at all these exciting colors, all these different experiences. It's very sensual. All the different senses and beyond are really activated in this connection. So much life force, and it really feels amazing. Because you are that yin yang, it feels so amazing to feel the other person's experience of love, because it's like you feel the other person's emotions. You are the one and the same energy. You are that same soul. So it's like, it's so amazing to feel the other person's love for you, feel the other person's experience of this heaven on earth, this euphoria, this whole experience of expansion, connecting with the universe or family, everything that this union represents and encompasses. It's so amazing, because it's like you can stand in your other person's shoes and feel it from their perspective as well, because you are that infinity symbol. Your energy is one, you're mirrors of each other. So it makes you feel so happy, feeling and experiencing the other as being that happy. And you can, and you do step in the other's shoes, and you feel everything from their perspective as well, and they do from yours. So it's like it multiplies this love, it multiplies everything, and it just feels incredible. So I feel like your person may be spending time in nature. They may be in the sun this weekend especially, and just really enjoying this peace and this harmony, a sense of like relief after some sort of conflict or struggle or misunderstanding or bump in the road, which is really just, it's always like learning curves. Okay, so what else is really going on in your divine union at this time? Choose love. You always have a choice as to what you should do. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So yeah, there is that desire. All of this sexual energy is these desires within you both to have that union on all levels, that desire for like physical touch. Obviously there's like a lot of fantasies because there's this desire to have that in the physical, you know. Obviously that's the human nature of love. Be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. Spend some quality time together. It is imperative that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationships with, listening and talking to each other. So, choose love. So there was this resolving conflict. Someone in your connection, whether it was you or the other person or both of you, may have recently sort of fallen out of that love vibration because of being in the mind, and that's nothing to beat yourself up about. This is normal. This is the part of this path, the awakening path. There is like this back and forth between head and heart quite a lot, you know. We're humans. We've been conditioned to be in the mind and think the mind is real and think our thoughts are real and things like that. So I feel you're coming into a time of a much more love, empathy, compassion, excitement, connection, feeling that oneness, feeling that intimacy, feeling like the energy in that infinity symbol, the energy between you is just flowing really magically again. Choose love. Someone could be going through a choice between love and fear. You always have a choice as to what you should do. Yeah, physical touch, it is that there's a lot of these desires for that oneness, and on all levels, because you're feeling very, very connected energetically at this time. Spend quality time together. To me, this is you're both taking time for stillness, and could be in nature, doesn't have to be, but this reminds me of the Rumi Oracle card, which is the Enter the Garden of Delights, and it talks about them sitting on the bench together, just being in like the safe sanctuary, the place of harmony and peace. And it's like within your heart space. For some of you, it's literally you will be spending quality time with this person, and yeah, there's just this feeling of intimacy, oneness. You've been on the same page energetically again, because sometimes when we're too much in our thoughts, it creates a disconnect because we're out of alignment, like with the soul truth, the truth that's we feel within that heart space where we are as, or we experience the oneness, okay? So there's a coming back to being on the same page, like energetically, sinking back into the heart space. Whatever conflict was going on has been resolved or is being resolved, and there's like an easing back into the joy, letting the mind dissipate, letting the guard down and opening the heart again. And like a feeling of reassurance, a feeling of relief, and the ecstasy or the ecstatic feelings that come after that. Be willing to express your love. So I feel for some of you there's been a fear recently of expressing love. Or maybe you expressed your love, you expressed something that you were afraid to express, and then the other you felt like vulnerable. There's this awkward sort of feeling. You may have closed up energetically a bit after expression. So that could have been you, it could have been the other person. But then whoever like opened up and expressed something like heartfelt, that they felt initially uncomfortable, you know, they were stepping out of a comfort zone a little bit and expressing that, and then it led to that feeling of anxiety a little bit. The other person picked up on that energetically, whether that was consciously or subconsciously, because again, you are the infinity symbol. So when one person feels tension or fears or anything that's out of alignment with the love, anytime something like that comes up, the other person immediately picks up on that energy, and then that can make them feel a bit anxious. So it's kind of like a time of anxiety on both sides has been resolved, and you will go through many of these experiences. Okay, that's the interplay of the soul truth and then the mind, the false self or illusions coming up, and every time you come back to love, because that is the truth of your connection. You come back to love, and then the mind falls away, the doubts or anxiety or fears fall away, and the love is strengthened again. And then you learn with every step of this, every time this happens, you learn again and again to keep coming back to love, choosing love. And the process over time gets easier. Sometimes there'll be like a huge like triggering, sometimes it will be less so, but that's normal, that's natural. Okay, don't ever feel, or try not to feel like resentment to the other person if they're kind of caught up in something, because it's like natural and it's not like a reflection of the love. Even if at one point, if this was already happened in your connection, or if it could happen in the future, even if their mind is like annoyed with you, or is in resistance to your connection, it's just the mind. Okay, it never changes the love, it never changes the truth of your connection. So they may, you know, be in their mind and be resistant at sometimes of your connection perhaps, but it's just because they're struggling with something that's come up in their mind. In their heart, the love is always there. The love is infinite. It may just be a matter of time until they come back to remembering that as they've dissolved something in the mind. Okay, so what else is really going on in your connection? What does Spirit really want you to know? Just trying to think what deck to look at. This new one here, which is the Archangel Animal Oracle cards. What's really going on in your connection at this time? Cow. Give with unconditional love and grace. So yeah, there is this compassion, giving unconditional love, empathy, compassion, understanding. It's helping whoever's been going through difficulties to come out of that. They feel that love. That love fills them up, fills them with light. It brings them back into consciousness a lot more quickly as well. Don't ever feel like you're responsible for someone else and you're, giving to the point of burning yourself out. When it's unconditional giving, when you're sending and just having this unconditional love, you don't necessarily have to send it. Just feeling that love is naturally sending that love. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, when you just love them so deeply and the mind is getting out of the way, the mind isn't like having attachments. They need to love me this, they need to do this, they need to do that. It needs to unfold this way, or you're thinking they're doing this wrong, they're doing that wrong. That's the mind distracting you. That's the mind getting in the way of the love that's already there. So as you release any of those tendencies and you come back into that unconditional love of where you're just giving, because it just makes you feel so joyous to see your person happy, and you know this person deserves love no matter what, because we're all human, we're all like imperfect, we've all been conditioned, we're all on this path of learning how to release the falseness of the mind, to sink back into the truth of the heart. It's a process, okay? And both of you will fall into unconsciousness sometimes and needs the assistance of the other. So this is advice to try and do that. For some of you, you've already moved back into that unconditional exchange of love and grace. It's like grace is returning into your connection, just that flow, that intimacy. We have rhinoceros, be strong and courageous. And elephant, open yourself to true abundance. This connection is super strong. Like, all these animals are really strong. And I want to say like stubbornness, but I don't mean that in like a negative way. It's like the stubbornly persistent thing in your connection is love, because it's the truth of what you really are. It's like the love endures, okay? That the stubbornness of the love. And again, I don't mean it's forceful. I don't mean that. I'm not talking about trying to resist or push the connection away and being stubborn in the mind, or trying to be stubborn and be like it's my way or the highway, it's got to be done like this, this person needs to do this, that or the other. None of that. The most strongest force, the unshakable, unmovable force beneath everything, every illusion within your connection, is the love. So I really hope this reading has resonated really deeply with you. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.